Welcome everybody, LevelMDiecast. This is not going to be your average diecast haul. We are returning to the dump bins, something that is very, very near and dear to me, something I like a lot. I absolutely love going through dump bins. They are the best part of collecting, in my opinion. Bringing some stuff back from the old school version of the channel. We used to do some oddball stuff. I've gotten pretty far off track. Very happy to bring this video today. We are going to go over just a huge slew of loose cars I just picked up from, basically hunting just in some dump bins. First one to take a look at, this is a Playart. This is a man. It is a licensed casting, but the apparatus on the back is not. See, these are going to be dirty. They're going to be beat up. Of course, they came from a dump bin. Just super cool stuff. I do like to pick up, real toys as much as I can. They are pretty rare here in the U.S. They're pretty common everywhere else, but in the U.S. they are very rare. It does have a turn status thingy on the top. There is your base Dietz Realtoy made in China, so that one's pretty cool. Also picked up this Volkswagen new Beetle. It's in pretty good shape. It's got some chips here and there on there, but it's not too bad. Playart has been, we're going to look at Playart. Realtoy has been pretty good at their paint jobs. The ones I picked up in dump bins, they've been pretty beat up, but they still tend to be in relatively good shape, especially with the windows too, which is pretty nice. It's kind of something that's not common to find. Again, there is our base Dietz Volkswagen new Beetle made in China. But this one is by far the best one, and this one will be cleaned up at some point in time. This one is just super, super cool. This is the Toyota Alfara, I think is how you pronounce it, Alfara, something to that effect. Probably one of the most ridiculous minivans you've ever seen in your life. This one is a bit beat up, but I do plan on probably doing a wheel swap on this one and maybe customizing a little bit since it's so beat up. But it's just a super cool casting. It's nice. It's big. Looks good. It's just super cool. It's just something that's super cool. And of course, it's right-hand drive, just like you'd expect it to be. There is the base Dietz Toyota Alphard. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. So pretty cool on that aspect. And since I couldn't seem to get Playart out of my mind, let's just roll over to Playart and take a look at what we got. This is the Mercedes SL. This one is pretty good shape. I mean, considering it is missing a headlight. The headlights and the taillights are lensed, and they are colored. So that's pretty cool. They're not just clear with the window. These models were typically built with several pieces. Even the steering wheel on the front side or on the inside is a separate piece. You can see the passenger, the driver's side headlights poking out a little bit. Part of the taillights are still there, but looks pretty good. Always like Playart. I'm always looking to pick those up as much as possible. And then, of course, anything with a Hong Kong base is pretty much what I will pick up. So there you go, the 350 SL. So definitely been in a bit of a front-end collision, as you can tell. So not going to be mint, not going to be perfect. That's what happens when you have dump bins. However, this one, on the other hand, is a very, very nice pickup. This is the Scout car. This thing is absolutely just bonkers how good a condition this is in. All these pieces back here are plastic. They're not broken off. There is detail down on the inside too. We will showcase that. No, it is not missing a top. There is no top for it. This thing is just wicked cool. Just wicked cool. Of course, it's going to have a Hong Kong base, exactly as you'd expect. Just super, super cool. Minimal tampos on it. Nice gray color. The wheels are in great shape as well. I think there's one of these on eBay for like 30 bucks. It's ridiculous. Never spend that kind of money. There is 2 seats down in there. It looks pretty good. There's a steering wheel down in there. Very, very nice details in there. Some dashboard Dietz in there as well. Very, very nice on this one. There is your Dietz. Good old Playart. Always a good time. We do have some Motor Max. This is the 2004-ish era Toyota Celica. It's a pretty good casting. So that's one of the reasons I picked it up. The deco is terrible. The deco is terrible. But the casting is pretty good. You know, the casting is really good. Has, you know, a little bit of detail on the front and the back, just silver for the headlights and the tail lights. They also sold these at Toys R Us under the Fastlane brand. It's just cool. It's in pretty good shape. It's in pretty good shape. And of course, the casting quality is good as well. The materials and stuff like that. It's not super thin, cheap, crappy plastic. There is not any details on the base other than the fact that it is a Toyota Celica. So pretty good detailed base on there as well. Looks pretty nice. Always like that as well. Motor Max that's not in quite as good as shape. This Stingray. So the window is broken down, but it is still there. And it is barely hanging on. And so it can definitely be repaired, which I do plan on doing. Maybe you know, just lifting it up and gluing it in there. Very interesting casting. Very interesting casting. Wheels are terrible. Wheels are terrible. Motor Max has never really had any good wheels. That's just the way it works. But this one looks very, very good. I like the two-tone on it. Of course, this is based on the actual real Stingray concept, I believe is what it was called. So, yeah, Mako Shark, that's what it's called. So, there you go. 1961 Mako Shark. Looks pretty good. Of course, China. Everything's made in China. Everything's made in China. Last Motor Max, we have this Ford Mustang Mach 3. Matchbox made this casting. Maisto made a 1/18 scale of it. It's just a crappy car. You know, it was a design study in the 90s. Glad that Ford did not take the Mustang this direction. It was a fresh take, I guess, as you see it as a concept car, and that's kind of why it made its way into the toy market. But other than that, it's pretty bleh. This casting's not that great. It's a little bit too narrow in the back. Still has those triple stacked tail lights, which are, you know, a staple of a Mustang, but you can see the back end is just a little bit too narrow. So casting not all that great. There is the base Dietz Mustang Mach 3. Again, very good quality though. Very good quality. It has some really good quality. All right, always gonna have Z. Always gonna have Z toys. This cargo truck's pretty cool. There's no back or anything. This guy's pretty beat up. You know, axles are bent up and whatnot, but he does still have all 3 axles, which looks pretty good. Wheel choice, not all that great. Casting's a little bit small for what it represents, but it is metal, lots of metal. Looks really, really good. Of course, decoed up for military. Looks like he got smashed. Maybe he got hit by a tank or something, who knows. But just something different. Of course, Hong Kong base, of course. The Zylmex. It's all good. Cargo truck. Looks pretty good. This one, super beat up. This one is the Toyota Cabo. I think it's a Toyota. Pretty sure it's Toyota. It's supposed to be a tow truck. It is missing the tow truck apparatus on the back. No surprise. It just snaps in. So you get it in a dump in, it's going to just snap right off. Pretty interesting that it still has a light bar on the top. This has a little bit of red and blue print in there. Looks pretty good. It says Highway Patrol on the front. That is a sticker, which is very, very worn off. He does roll, which is pretty nice. Base Dietz on this one. Nothing doing. Hong Kong, oh well. Looks good. And then, of course, you got to have a police car if you have a police tow truck. And this is pretty cool. This one's pretty nice. This is the Audi 90, I think it is. We'll take a look at the base when we take a look at it. It's an Audi for sure, though. Sheriff. This one is a little wonky. You can see he kind of sits like the suspension is blown out on this corner. But it looks pretty good. This guy doesn't have any opening features or anything like that. No moving parts, nothing like that. But it's still a pretty cool casting. This one didn't have a light bar, so you see there's no marks for a light bar on the top. It does say 57 on there. There are stickers. The white and black are printed, but the rest of it is all stickers. This guy does have a metal base, so it just says Audi. Doesn't tell you what Audi is, but I'm pretty sure it's an Audi 90, I think is what it is. Pretty sure. So that one's pretty cool. And then a little bit newer, well, sort of. in the same veins, this 308. This one is pretty nice because it still has the windshield on it. Of course, still has the little spoiler, I guess you want to call it, behind the front seats. Looks pretty good. It does have some suspension action. Looks pretty good. This guy's beat up, though. Definitely beat up. But all the parts are there. That's always a big thing. And, of course, yes, like always, this is going to be a Hong Kong base. It is plastic. There you go. Ferrari 308. I've always thought it was weird on these bases where they make it textured. It's just really, really weird, in my opinion. All right, the last one that we got from Z is this Mustang. And this casting is very, very small. It's a very, very, very small casting. As a matter of fact, if you put the deuce next to it, they're pretty much the same size. So for some reason, that Mustang is just made really, really small. But it looks pretty good. Stickers, of course, on there. It's in great, great shape. The stickers obviously are not, but the model is in fantastic shape. The front end is still together. Windows are not broken or anything like that. It does roll just nice and fine. Looks pretty good. And then we'll just flip this around. Does have metal base, Hong Kong as well. Looks very good. It just says Mustang. They don't tell you the model, but it's pretty sure that's a Boss Mustang. Looks pretty good. We'll get our next tray going on because I have these all in trays because it's a lot easier that way. We're just random here. So this is a Matchbox, obviously. This is the Xterra. I do believe this came from a playset. I believe this was a playset exclusive, a type of pirate playset exclusive. It's in very good shape, but it is unfortunately not mint. I didn't take a great look at it when I bought it, thinking that it was good enough to go in the collection. It is unfortunately not good enough to go in the collection, unfortunately, because I do not have this one. But it is in pretty darn good shape. Does have a pretty good crack right there. Not crack, but a chip on the side mirror. There's a couple chips up here as well. And then, of course, a big scratch in the front windshield. So it's in really good shape. It's just not good enough to be in the collection. Of course, this is the Xterra, so it does have the opening hatch in the back. There is the hatch. Opened with a couple maybe backpacks or something in there. Looks pretty good. So throw that guy down. Did get an old school regular wheel BP tanker because it was like $1. So like, of course, definitely going to buy it. It's in okay shape. I mean, it's, you see a lot of this Lesney stuff and it's just destroyed. You see them missing axles or missing wheels or windows are gone. But this one is in pretty darn good shape. Does have a little bit of chip off in the front. But other than that, he's in pretty good shape. Pretty good shape. Obviously, the stickers are just destroyed. But that's just what happens. Looking pretty good. We'll flip this around just to show it to you. Ergomatic cab, it says. Matchbox series number 32. Lesney. Very nice. I mean, it's $1. It's $1. Like, come on, it's $1. So something I picked up just to chop the wheels off of it. This is the Goodwrench 3 Chevrolet in the Craftsman Truck Series. This was driven by Mike Skinner, I believe. This one, I just want the wheels off of it. It's destroyed. It's absolutely beat up. It's a good casting. They were popular back in the day, but I just wanted to jack the wheels off of it, so we're just going to drill them open and pull the wheels off of him. But this is a Racing Champions. Big, nice, fat wheels on there. Looks pretty good. Goodyear Eagles with some red striping on there. The wheels are in pretty good shape. And, of course, they are rubber. So, pull those off. Chop him up for sure. Oops, sorry about that. U.S. pressed steel Tonka. This is a modified Beetle. Other than that, I don't really know much details about this. If anybody knows more details about this one, definitely drop a comment down below. Very interested to find out. This thing is pretty cool. I just like its super wide stance. Like I said, it is a pressed steel. Looks pretty good. I think it's just super cool. It's just really unique. It's just something that's different. I really, really like the wheels. They are rubber tires as well. They look very, very good. Flip this guy around. There is the base. Made in the U.S. Tonka on there. Looks good. Just all pressed steel on that base. So that's pretty cool. Something different for sure. I got some Ertl. Specifically, I got some Dukes of Hazzard Ertl. Now, I do not have the Jeep. This is the first Jeep I've ever come across, and it is very beat up. It is missing parts. Shockingly, the tow hitch is still on there. It's a very shocking thing. But the rest of it is very beat up. You see the top of the windshield is crushed in as well. There would have been a roll bar and stuff on there. But it still has the Screaming Eagle on the hood, which is pretty good. Other than that, you can get the gist of what it was. I'm sure most of the people watching this channel, you have probably seen the original Dukes of Hazzard at least once. Base is in very, very good shape. Let's see if we can see the base there. So it is a Hong Kong base. Very hard to read that. It says Ertl on it. Looks pretty good. And then, of course, if you have the Dukes of Hazzard, you got to have the General Lee. But this General Lee is destroyed. All the stickers are gone. It doesn't roll, worth of nothing. And it just is pretty plain. Now, I will say, the casting, though, is fantastic. Ertl did a very, very good Charger casting. So this one is ripe to be customized. And I'm probably going to do that at some point, guys. I really am dabbling that in these days. I kind of want to get more involved in that, but we'll see how it goes. This is made in USA. Very, very nice. The replica General Lee card says right there for Dukes of Hazzard. And then I have one more Ertl. I'm pretty sure this is Ertl. I don't even know why I bought this. I don't even know anything about this. It was just weird. It was just weird, so I bought it. It's a tractor. It's all metal. I'm pretty sure it's Ertl. We'll take a look at it here in a minute. But, you know, it rolls, you know, and it does have, you know, these little tiny pizza cutter wheels in the front and big ones in the back. Looks pretty good. It does say it's a, whatever, International Harvester, I think is what it is. So that's kind of cool. And then, of course, there you go. It is an Ertl, in fact. So couldn't tell you if this is old, new, modern day, back in the day, but I would anticipate this is not exactly old. Maybe at the oldest, maybe early 90s, maybe late 80s. Maybe. All right. I did have some Tomica. I really, really, really like F1 Tomica from back in the day. I do pick them up, even if they're destroyed like this one. You can see this, for some reason, somebody stuck the rear wing in like a vice grip or something and just bent it up. I'm not really sure why. This has a combination of stickers and prints. Amazingly, most of the stickers are actually still there. One of the very, very nice things about this one is the cowl above the hood or cowl above the engine, I should say, is still there. I really like the wheels that Tomica used, these big, nice, fat slicks. They looked very, very nice. I'm not sure if this is a McLaren or if this is a something else, but we're gonna check the base because the base will show us. So taking a look at the base, it is in fact a McLaren M26 Ford Japan base. Looks very, very good. Just too bad it's all beat up. So I have some Tomica F1s that are in very, very good shape. Did pick up some more though. This is a much more modern Tomica. This is the Toyota Crown Athlete. Crown Athlete. I don't know. We'll take a look at the base. I'm not super familiar with my Japanese cars, guys, so thankfully we have the base details. This does not have any opening moving features, nothing like that. Other than that, it's just pretty standard. This is a much, much more modern Tomica. It could even be China based potentially, but it does have suspension, exactly what you expect. It is in relatively good shape. So we'll take a look at our base. So this is indeed the Toyota Crown Athlete. I feel pretty happy. I kind of got that basically right. And made in Vietnam, so pretty cool. It is not a China base. It is Vietnam based. So very, very modern. Very modern. But it is what it is. This one is also a very modern one. This is the Mitsuka Orochi. I think that's how you say that. we'll check the base anyways. This does have one moving feature on it. Very interesting vehicle. This is a real vehicle. This is not a fantasy vehicle. It's just interesting. Now, I used to have a couple of these way back in the day, and I don't remember where I got them, but I had since parted with my Tomica stuff. So now I just have this one. He's pretty beat up. You know, there's a lot of chips on it and stuff like that, but I never, ever, ever leave Tomica, ever, no matter what. So we will get the top popped open. There you go. Just have a pop top on there. A little bit of silver print down in there as well. Looks pretty good for the mid-mounted rear engine. Looks good. Of course, this guy does have a metal base, which is pretty nice. Vietnam. There you go. Mitsuka Orochi. Very interesting vehicle indeed. But I do have a pocket car. Very nice pocket car. The Countach. And yes, this guy does have opening moving feature as well. In black with some gold details down each side coming from the hood. You can see that the rear wing is all bent down, unfortunately. But he still does roll, which is pretty nice. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. But like I said, I'm never going to leave a Tomica if I come across it. I do like the Raging Bull on the top there. It looks very good. And of course, he does have the opening part here. Does have a chrome detail in there for the engine. Looks very, very good. Then take a look at our base deets for our pocket car, which is Japan base indeed. Lamborghini Countach LP500S. 1978 Tommy. This particular one is not 1978, but the casting is from 1978. Looks pretty good. Did get a couple Stompers. This is just a regular Stomper, McDonald's Stomper. This is the Rampage in kind of a bluish turquoise kind of color. Looks like maybe somebody had stuck a sticker on the back of it sometime in its lifetime and tore it off. Axles are pretty rusted. I did do a video that I kind of walked through my Stompers. I'll probably link that at the end of the video just because anybody wants to check that out. This one is Macau base. See a lot of rust on there as well. But I got a real Stomper as well. Not the full-size Stompers, but I got the battery operated. This one's pretty nice. This one is the Audi Quattro. This one is absolutely fantastic. I have not popped the top off to see if it works at this point in time yet. When I bought this, it was pretty cold outside, and the plastic was pretty brittle, so the last thing I wanted to do was break it, because after all, it is in very good shape. Very, very good shape. The prints even look good. It's just in really, really, really good shape. So got to be very careful with that. You see that they do just pop off either the front or the back, and then you can take the body off to get access to the inside. There is a little thing in there with a motor. You can see it is stuck on right now, so obviously it's not currently working. Hopefully it's just dead battery or something like that, but hopefully it will work. And then of course this just has Thailand base. Super, super cool. Probably one of my favorite pickups of the whole haul right there. That one was pretty good. Move on to another tray. Yeah, this is going to be kind of a long video, guys. Yachting. Picked up a Jeep CJ7. This guy's pretty beat up. Hong Kong base, missing the rear spare tire. And then, of course, the suspension's all bottomed out. But the suspension's not broken, which is a very, very rare occurrence to come across. Does have an opening hood. The engine is molded into the body. So it looks really, really good. There is your front deets. As you can see, the suspension is not broken. The axles just need to be popped back over there. Again, you got to make sure you don't do this when it's cold, because the plastic is very, very brittle. Hong Kong base again. So spare tire, not that big a deal. Fix the suspension. It'll be a thing. It'll be a thing. This one's pretty cool. The Country Squire, I think is what this is called. Ford Country Squire. Now there's a billion different versions of this. Playart also used the same casting as Yachting. They all used the same casting. Then there was later runs that switched to China base with a plastic base. And I actually do have one of those that we'll take a look at right next. But this one is pretty decent, decoed up with police. This was one of the most common themes that, you know, Yaming was doing back then. Police on everything. It's just the way it worked. But this guy looks pretty good. It's kind of simulated suspension. It's not actually suspension. There is the metal base. Does have a sticker for made in China. This is definitely a later run. Just says Ford on the base. It is a very small casting, very small. It doesn't move or do anything else. And then this is a very, very late production run, El Cheapo style, if you want to call it that. Just very, very bland. Very, very bland. Nothing fancy to it. Does have some wood grain on the side, though. Just has a plastic China base on it, though. Again, this casting was super small. They were representing a very large vehicle in real life, and they had to get it shrunk down into a very, very small package. There it is there. So nothing doing there on the crappy plastic base. Now, I have been looking for the California pickup Sneaky Pete like for a very, very long time. And I'm super disappointed because this one is really beat up. I mean, really, really beat up. Now, it does still roll, and it rolls great. The axles are in great shape, but it is missing the stacks. It is missing the air cleaners, missing basically the entire front end. Not even basically, it is missing the front end. So I'm a little disappointed, but I really, really like this casting. Yes, you can buy these on eBay in great shape. All these models that we come across here, you can buy on eBay. But that takes the fun out of it. You know, I want to actually hunt one of these and pick it up for, you know, a couple bucks rather than paying $20, $30 for it on eBay for a mint copy. I don't even want a mint copy. I just want one that's in good shape. So, like I said, rolls very, very good. It is a heavyweight with a metal base. Hong Kong again. There you go. California pickup. Sneaky Pete. Very, very nice. Very unique casting. Very unique casting for sure. All right, I got a pair of Corvette racers from kind of two eras, I guess you can say. They are different from each other. They're not super different, but they're a little bit different from each other. They are the exact same casting, though. This one has some pink print on the, or not pink print, some pink markers or whatever, from some kid at some point in time who, you know, scribbled on it. But the Stars and Stripes on the front of that is regular. It's factory. I do think I have a couple of these floating around that are pretty much mint. This is a very, very, very common casting. Even from back in the day from Yaming, they must have put this in like a bazillion things because I probably have about 30 of these Corvettes by now. This one with the other wheels, this is a very, very nice older version. So this one is Hong Kong base as well. Old school Yaming, see there on there, just the cool rivet style that they had for those. Looks very, very good. And of course, this one is metal base. So this one is newer production than the previous one. Still Hong Kong base. Looks pretty good. This one has kind of those, they're not rivets. Well, kind of rivets. They're not spun, they're kind of riveted. So very interesting construction on that for sure. Couple of modern Hot Wheels plus some other Hot Wheels. Picked this up. I don't know. I might do a custom on it. Like I said, it was $1. It's kind of beat up. It is what it is. It's a gasser. Nothing fancy, nothing rare, nothing doing like that. I'm pretty sure this came in a 5-pack, so it is what it is. But I just got this in case I wanted to do a custom at some point in time. This one is very, very nice. This is a Hong Kong base black wall. This Deuce Roadster, I think is what it is. All the smoke, or the two exhausts are there. Engine details are there. The headlights are there. The windshield is there, and the steering wheel's there. It's in pretty good shape. Got some flea bites on it, but it's pretty nice. It's really, really nice. And I got this for $1. $1. Totally worth it all day, every day. Take a look at our base. There you go. Hong Kong, 1975. Very, very nice. Kind of has those rivets on there as well. This is a very, very nice model, especially for $1. So pretty happy about that one. Going back to some modern flavor. Very interesting to pick this up. I'm going to do a wheel swap on this one as well. I already have this guy. I have a couple of them loose, and then I have a couple of them carded. This was from a Gran Turismo, kind of Walmart style set release. I believe it came with 8 cars, if I remember correctly, for Gran Turismo. So this one is pretty cool. Looks pretty good. Definitely going to do a wheel swap on that one. Clean it up a little bit. It is dirty. I mean, after all, it came from a dump in, but looks to be good, chip-wise and whatnot. All right, old school color changers, Blackwall. This guy is Silver Bullet, I think. Man, I don't remember the name of this guy. Very interesting, the color changing kind of paint they used back in the day. They're really, really thick, and they were always like a red or purple color all the time until they changed colors. It was just really interesting. They don't do that nowadays. They have a more sophisticated way to do it, but just picked that one up, which is kind of cool. Nothing fancy on the base at all. Another Hot Wheels. Don't know where this came from. This is a Honda Racer. I picked this up to chop the wheels off. I just wanted the wheels. That is that 2-piece cold mold wheel. Those are the same wheels that came on Speed machines back in the day. Those are the same style of wheels that will be coming on Speed machines in 2023. So very, very exciting to see those. Again, just wanted the wheels. So pick this guy up. I might even try to maybe save that V10 Honda F1 power plant that it has in there. Maybe try to shoehorn that into something in some kind of a custom. I do plan on getting a little crazy, cut, chop, and paste, and all that good stuff like that. All right, moving on to another tray. We are going to show, we got some Kenners. Kenner Fast 111s. I buy all of them I come across, unless they are really destroyed. If they're really, really, really destroyed, I just leave them. But, when they have all wheels on there, all the pieces and stuff like that, I pick them up. This is way back in the day when I was very young, when Kenner Fast 111s was a big deal. They're very interesting castings, and that's one of the reasons why I like them so much. And of course, they always had the custom plates on there. This one is Wisconsin. Base deets, of course, it is Hong Kong. I don't really care if they're Hong Kong or not. This one just happens to be Hong Kong. Also have a Stingray with a very bum wheel in the back. Looks really bad, but it's still there. This one in kind of a dull brown with some yellow and orange. Looks pretty good. Has a chrome base on it, so it's an interesting casting. This one's probably one of the more normal ones that they ever did. They're not based on real. Well, they're based on real cars, but they're not licensed. New Hampshire on the plate for this guy. This one is a Macau base, so a little beat up on the base for sure. Axle is bent up, and then we got this last one, which is a BMW 3 Series based. So this one has always been an interesting one. Easily recognizable from the front, but that's about all you get. That kidney grille with the quad headlights. The whole back of it is something different. It is very Fast 111 style with the ridiculous wing out of the back. And then, of course, the giant chrome bumper with the taillights in it. That's just what they did. I think it looks pretty cool. This guy does have an orange window. And he is from Connecticut. Hong Kong base on this one. Pretty cool. Darta Motors. Pretty rare to come across these nowadays. They've kind of slowed down. I actually had somebody hit me up on Instagram and asked me to sell some of my darters to them, and I gladly did. So I don't need to necessarily hold on to everything all the time. That gentleman is in Germany, so hopefully he gets those and he's happy with them. This one is the McLaren F1. This is late run. This is China base. No longer West Germany. Unfortunately, it also is a fixed body. It is not a swappable one, so definitely not desirable, but it does have some pretty cool wheels on there. Might actually wheel swap / sort of wheel swap one of these darters at some point in time in my life. Who knows? All right, Kidco. This is Road Tough. So this guy would have had a big camper on the back. I actually have this exact model carded, which is pretty rare to get one carded, but they are very common to find loose. So that's why he does have that screw up in the bottom, in the back, which would have held on that big camper in the back. But, you know, Chevy truck looks okay. Missing a piece of the bumper. And of course, Hong Kong base. It is unbranded on the base, but it is not broken on the suspension, so rolls pretty good. Another Kidco, this Datsun. Now, if you guys follow my Instagram, I actually picked up a key car, Datsun 280 key car, complete with the key, which was a very, very big shock to me. Posted that up on my Instagram. Go check that out if you want to see what it looks like. It is yellow. It's pretty nice. Just super nice to get the key with the car. That's pretty rare. Pretty rare. And of course, it does have rubber tires in the back, Hong Kong base. Kidco 1980, metal base, plastic body. Moving on, we do have a Bronco. This one is very, very nice. This one's in fantastic shape. This is the MASH Bronco. Definitely one of the rarer versions for sure. Is in, like I said, fantastic shape. The prints are good. Bumpers are all there. Pieces are not broken. Paint looks really, really good. Just an insane dump fin find. Just insane. I'm really, really, really happy with this one. I do have a few Broncos. I have maybe 4 or 5. I do also have one carded, which was a pretty rare find. I actually picked it up at the same time as that last truck we looked at. There it is, Kidco. A little bit of rust on the axles. Other than that, is in fantastic shape. Made in Hong Kong. All right, last Kidco. This is the Celica GT. It is unfortunately missing the hatch. The hatch broke off, but it's still pretty cool. I did not have this particular version, or the casting, I should say. So I just picked it up. Now, obviously, I don't consider this to be a collection per se. It is destroyed. But this is a piece of history. You guys gotta remember, this is a piece of history that we're looking at here. And, you know, all these vehicles I pick up from back in the day, they're extremely rare to find. And if you do find them, they are very expensive. And so just to be able to get a little piece of history that I can, like this, is important. 1979 Kidco, Hong Kong base. A little bit scratched up on the base. It was chrome base at some point in time, but all the chrome has since worn off. All right, moving on to our very last tray. Yes, I know it's been one of those videos. Welly. Do have a Welly here. This is for a stair truck for an airport. This is for ANA Airlines. This is not old school or nothing like that, but this is based, if I remember correctly, this is based on a Pocket Cars casting from Tomica, which is the Toyota, which is the same one we looked at with that tow truck earlier. It's in basically brand new shape, but it's China based. It's not very old. It's not it's just kind of cool to see them branded as Welly. Usually you get them unbranded, but this one was branded as Welly, which is pretty nice. Definitely take that. A couple more Wellys. So these are some type of promo. So these are for Exxon Speed Pass promo. These are fantastic castings, by the way. Really, really, really good castings. I believe this is a Buick GSX. It's just they're just really good castings. I mean, really, really, really good castings. The deco is obviously crap because it's just crap. But it does have a spoiler on the back. Chrome bumpers, looks very, very good. Rides very, very well. They are in very good shape. They look very, very good. Very nice details on it. Looks amazing. There is the base Dietz. So, yep, this is a 70 Buick GSX. Of course, made in China like everything is. Very nice details on the base as well. Did have a couple of these. I'm not sure how many of these were in the promo. This is a GTO. This is another very, very good casting. Very good shape. Looking very good. Chrome details on it. It's just a really, really good casting. Even the wheels don't look all that bad on it. Nice gold color to it. So I think this would be a really, really nice version if you could strip all the tampos off of it and just be the gold color. I think that'd be really, really good. Put this guy around. There is the base on this one. Looks like maybe 68, 67. I can barely even read that. Pontiac GTO. So, very interesting. And then the very last one in that series is this Camaro, which is one of the better Camaro castings I've ever seen. I mean, being just frank with you, it's nice and sized. It looks really, really good. Chrome details on it. It's got some striping around the front windshield. Looks good. It has some mirror details on it. It's a very, very, very nice version. I believe, I'm just going to go out on a limb here because I haven't even seen the base yet. I'm going to assume it's like a 68. I'm just going to assume it's a 68 Camaro. We'll see if I'm right or not. You know, maybe we'll get a drum roll. Does have some Camaro print on the side. Looks pretty good. Does say Z28. Let's see if I am right or wrong. I indeed am wrong. Oh, I don't know. Looks like I might be right. 1960. Looks like 68 to me. 68. I know the difference you tell is from the quarter window. Is the biggest way to tell from a 67 to 68 and a 69 is that quarter window. So if I got that wrong, guys, just let me know. Just throw a comment down and be like, yo, Level M, you got that wrong. All right, Maisto. I got one Maisto, and it's just because it's cool. This is the Jeep Liberty. There is no interior on this model, but it does have that nice, interesting wheel on there. Maisto was doing a lot of these kind of vehicle-specific wheels at one point in time, and that's what this is for. It's specific to the Liberty. The casting is pretty good. I think the wheels take away from it. I think with a good wheel swap, this casting will look even better. It's in very, very good shape. It's just a bummer that there's no interior in it, but most Maistos don't have an interior. That's not a new or uncommon thing. All right, we're going to have a bunch of Corgis, and then I got one more thing at the very end. So most of these are going to be Whiz Wheels or Corgi Juniors. This is I think it's an Oldsmobile, maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to check the base. When Hot Wheels acquired, or not Hot Wheels, when Mattel acquired Matchbox, they also acquired a bunch of other stuff. And you'll notice a lot of Corgi castings ended up coming out as Hot Wheels at one point in time. In the mid-90s, they also came out with this as a police car in a single pack and some other stuff as well. But this is back in the day Corgi. Of course, Taxi looks pretty good. This one is pretty beat up. But there is your base Dietz. So it is a Buick Regal. So I don't even remember what I called it, but I don't think I called it a Buick Regal. But there it is. Made in Great Britain. So not too shabby. Looks okay. Next one up is a little bit of mystery in the form of James Bond. This is the Underwater Esprit Lotus. This one is super, super cool. It's always cool to find old stuff, 80s and 90s that's like pop culture type stuff. So it's just super cool to find stuff like that. And this one's no exception. Does have a sticker on the front that says 007, pretty worn off. Other than that, it is in okay shape. It is pretty chipped up, but it's not too shabby. There it is, your 007 Corgi Juniors. Lotus Esprit, kind of a cool one. Rolling with the Lotus theme, we do have a Europa. This does have an opening hatch in the back. I'll pop that open shortly. In basically British Racing Green, kind of metallic, looks pretty good. Yellow interior, then of course a yellow hatch on the back. It is a rear engine model, or mid rear engine. This one's in pretty good shape. I do think this one has a metal base as well. Of course, right-hand drive. Of course, this was not meant to be the US. So see if we can just get this guy to pop open. There you go. So there is a trunk detail in the back, but then there's all the engine detail in chrome. Looks very, very good. Just kind of snaps closed. Does indeed have a metal base. There you go. Whiz Wheels. Corgi Juniors Lotus Europa. Very, very nice. All right, Ford GT70, I think is what this one is. Obviously, it was orange at one point in time in its life. It's it's like Zylmex style now. It's just a cool casting, though. I've never seen a GT70, like a real picture of a GT70. So this is kind of an interesting thing for me. I did know that this existed. I have come across these before, but they've always had the hatch broken. Yes, it does have an opening hatch, and the hatch is always broken. So it's always a bummer to deal with that. So since this one has a hatch on there, I decided to buy it. Some details down in there for the engine and whatnot. Nothing fancy. That is the color orange the car used to be at one point in time in its life. That hatch is metal. And then there is your base Dietz Ford GT70 Corgi Juniors. Very, very interesting. All right, the last Corgi I have is definitely the best Corgi of them all. This guy is in fantastic shape. Really good shape. This Ferrari, I think it's a 308. We'll take a look at it. But it is in really, really good shape. I mean, there's a little bit of nicks here and there, but it's in very, very, very good shape. I'm very, very stoked to have come across this piece. It's very, very nice. Even the interior is still pretty white, not all discolored and stuff like you normally see from 80s plastic, because that's what's happened in the 80s. Everything just gets discolored and stuff, even into the 90s. Taking a look at our base Dietz 308 GTS. Very, very nice. Interesting, it has 5 rivet spots. It's very interesting assembly there with the 5 rivet spots. Of course, does have the nice Italian flag on the hood. Looks pretty good. And, of course, your prancing horse. Pretty happy with that one. And then I got one more model, and we're going to roll out with this model because I think this is just ridiculously cool. This is a Summer. This is a Rolls Royce. In about the most cheapest, crappiest quality of model you're ever going to see anything Rolls-Royce related ever in your life. Now, was this licensed? I'm pretty sure it was. It does have the Rolls-Royce on the back of it. It does have the Spirit of Excellence or Spirit of whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. On the hood, on both sides there. It doesn't actually have a hood ornament on there. Spirit of Excellence, I think is what it's called. I don't know. You guys can correct me down in the comments. It is in really good shape, though. It's not beat up. It was silver. It does have the black print on it, like you see. Kind of a bluish green kind of window on it. The front end is complete. The wheels are absolutely just terrible. They're really, 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 really bad. Does look like somebody tried to put some blue paint or something on the wheels, which is unfortunate. But it does have a little bit of a kind of a textured top on it, kind of sort of. And then there is your Rolls-Royce logo on the back. Does actually say Rolls-Royce. Doesn't necessarily mean they didn't rip it off, but I'm pretty sure it was licensed. And then there is your Dietz Summer number S692, made in Hong Kong. Of course it is. So that one is pretty cool. So we're going to roll that one out because that one's probably the most unique of the haul outside of the Stomper. But there you go. I'm happy to bring that to you. If you made it all the way to the end, you are a true fan. Appreciate that more than you can imagine. And you are just as much of a car nerd as I am. And my hats off are to you. So thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. We're coming back. We got more stuff. We always do. So we'll catch you next time. Level M. Peace.